All right, 32. It's a little blurry. I'll read it to you. Okay. Describe the three ways in which two lines may be related. This is a good question. I asked this question. People look at me like I'm asking a really hard question, but if you were even just to guess at this question, you could possibly get it right. Because there's really only about three ways. How can two lines be related? Two lines. Think about it. Look at it.
They're parallel.
Parallel, yes. Parallel. What's another one?
Horizontal. No, just kidding.
Non-parallel.
Perpendicular. Perpendicular is where they cross at an angle that's just right. Okay, it's where they cross at a 90-degree angle. And then another way is skew. That's something we learned yesterday. Skew is kind of like where you have a highway, right, and then an overpass over the highway. Those two roads don't intersect, right? If they did, we'd have a lot of wrecks. But those two lines do have a relationship. So they don't intersect, but they're not parallel. That's what we would call skew. S-K-E-W. So we have parallel, here's a symbol for parallel. We have perpendicular, as a symbol for perpendicular. And we have skew. Here are the letters that spell skew. We good? Number 34. Oh wait, we didn't do part B. Give examples from real world to illustrate each of the relationships you described. This is part B. Parallel, give me an example. Perpendicular, give me an example. Skew, give me an example. Example of parallel lines. What do you think about in the real world? Huh? Yeah, so like lanes on the interstate, right? They don't want to be intersecting. They run side by side. So roads, interstates, lanes. What about perpendicular? Tiles in the wall or bricks in the wall? And skew. I don't know. When you're thinking, you just look like you're in. Yeah, the overpass over an interstate would be a good one. Overpass on an interstate. So those two lines or roads don't intersect, but they're not parallel either. That's the idea of skew. So an overpass. <clears throat> 34. How many pairs of parallel planes does a cereal box have? Thing with cereal box.
1, 2, 3, 4.
3.
4.
Okay, so pairs. Pairs. 3. Top, bottom, right? Front, back, and left, right. B. Or, yeah.
I'm talking to myself.
You're still a people. Okay, next one here. Which is not a net. A net is like an unfolded 3D image. Okay, unfolded. Which is not a net. So in your mind, you need to fold these up. So like when you fold A up, these creases, right? They're all going to be folded. Does that make a cube?
Yeah.
Yep, so it ain't that one. And then it's C. Let's check it quick. So that goes up, that goes up, that goes over, and then these two would go together. Yeah, C doesn't work. That almost looks like a face.
You look like a face.
Better take it back. This is a tattoo. This is a face tattoo, so he's probably a rapist.
You have to do the teardrop by the eye.
Like, this is what I imagine they do. Like, they put, like, they gotta tattoo this stuff on their face. That way they know. Everyone knows.
If you put 6
Like,
9 on top of
I'm
his
cool.
head, it turns into a rat.
Did you just laugh at that, or do you not understand what?
No, I know what he's talking about. For some reason I know what he's talking about. That rainbow rapist, right? Okay, 38. IDA. Wait. So YDF is 121. YDF. So this guy right here is 121.
Just 121.
You don't know that. DR bisects FDI. DR bisects FDI. That means these are congruent. Find the angle, find the measure of each angle. So IDA. 121.
Yes.
You guys agree?
Yeah.
Yeah, why?
Cause you said it.
Because I said so. Notice what I have here in this blue line. If the top's 121, why is the bottom 121?
Yeah, it's congruent or something.
Because they're perfect.
I don't think I've heard it yet. What would we call those?
Perpendicular. I know what you're talking
Congruent,
about.
symmetrical. Since they're, I don't know.
You guys have a wide.
I know what you're talking about. I just can't think of the word.
You guys have a wide range of geometric
Give me the bobblehead.
turns. No, I can't.
Do it.
Vertical,
Oh,
right? So don't forget about that.
I was getting there.
All right, so we got 121 there. IDA. My son does like a little bobblehead sometimes. They're so dang cute. Okay, RDI. RDI. So if this is 121, listen to me. If this is 121, this is the rest of it over here, meaning they got to add up to 180. So if 121's there, what's over here? Is it 1? No, is it 59?
I think. Yes.
Yeah, 59.
Yeah.
Which means this whole thing over here is 59. And if you divide that by 2 exactly, because these have to be exactly the same, so if you divide that by 2, it would be
Isn't it asking for RDI?
Color.
Oh, that equals F for the
29.5 is what I got. I got that from Zach, though, so
Probably wrong.
it's right.
I thought the R was like the top point where F is.
Silly. Okay, funny. Yes.
Very inappropriate, guys.
My son's starting to make like farm animal noises. It's really funny. I'll be like, "What's the piggy say?" He goes, so funny. Or like, "What's the cow say?" He doesn't know how to put like the M with it, so he usually just goes, "Ooh," instead of like "moo," "ooh." 42. What's angle 4 and angle 2? How do they relate? How do you classify them, guys? This is what we learned yesterday. Starts with a C.
Congruent.
Nope.
Coplanar.
Keep trying.
Covalent bond.
Yeah, what am I doing?
It's corresponding. So I'll go ahead and spell it out. Usually I'll abbreviate it, but since this is the first time some of you guys are hearing that word, corresponding. What that means, listen, What that means is that they match up. They're in the same spot. Okay. If my socks correspond with my outfit, you might hear that. Doubt it. Okay, that means they match up. So these 2 points, if I was to pick them up and put them on top of each other, notice how angle 4 and angle 2 would be in the same spot, like the top right, if you will. All right, 4 and 5. 4 and 5. Yes, they're alternate
Can you tell me what number we're on?
exterior.
44.
44.
I went from 35 to 44.
Well, we did all of
Alternate exterior. Wow, you guys didn't tell me you can't hardly see that.
Yeah, I did. I said, can you write in different colors?
Oh, I'm sorry. It looks perfectly fine on here. You have that done? Yes? Turn it in.
I'm determined to finish this one today and get it to you by SRT. That's my main goal for today.
Okay, so that was just, finishing up that one assignment. Okay, I figured you'd have questions, which is fine. Sorry, where'd it go? But our task for today is to do the 3.1 supplement assignment, the worksheet on Canvas. So let me pull that up.